Private James Miller snapped to attention as General Thorne strode past, the crisp autumn wind carrying the scent of fallen maple leaves across Fort Alderwood. The general, a towering figure softened only by the deep lines etched around his eyes from decades of service, offered Miller a brief, almost imperceptible nod. This was their silent ritual every evening at 1900 hours to the rest of the sprawling base. General Thorne was a legend, the strategist who held the Grey Ridge Pass against impossible odds to Miller, standing guard at the command post entrance. He was the man who remembered the names of privates and always asked after Malaria's ailing mother back home. There was a quiet gravity about him, a profound weariness mingled with unwavering dedication that Miller deeply admired, making the sentry duty feel less like a chore and more like guarding something precious. One chilly October evening, the familiar rhythm faltered. The sky deepened to indigo, the base lights flickered on, casting long, lonely shadows, and 1900 hours came and went. The path General Thorne always took from the officers' quarters to his office remained empty. Miller strained his ears, expecting the firm, measured footsteps, but heard only the distant bark of orders from the parade ground, and the mournful sigh of the wind through the pines. An unfamiliar knot of anxiety tightened in Miller's stomach. The general was never late, never. His absence felt like a sudden, silent tear in the fabric of the base's routine. Miller scanned the pathways again, his breath misting in the cold air, hoping to see the familiar silhouette emerge from the gathering dusk, but the path stayed deserted by dawn. Fort Alderwood was a hive of controlled panic. General Thorne was officially missing. Search parties, grim-faced and efficient, swept through the barracks, the motor pool, the dense woods bordering the base, and even the quiet, off-limits memorial garden where the general sometimes sat in contemplation. Radios crackled, jeeps roared to life, and soldiers moved with urgent purpose. Miller, reassigned to the search detail near the old artillery range, felt a profound sense of helplessness. He remembered the general's quiet words just 2 nights prior, spoken while gazing at the stars. "Sometimes, James, the greatest battles are the ones fought within the silence of your own mind." The memory sent a chill down Miller's spine that had nothing to do with the morning frost. Had the weight of command finally become too heavy? Days bled into a weak. Hope, initially fierce, began to wane, replaced by a heavy blanket of sorrow and unanswered questions. No note, no trail, no sign of struggle. It was as if the earth itself had gently opened and swallowed General Thorne whole. The base carried on its duties, but the vibrant energy was gone, replaced by a hollow echo. Flags flew at half-mast, soldiers spoke in hushed tones. Miller found himself repeatedly drawn to the General Elias office, now a sealed, silent shrine guarded by 2 stone-faced MPs. He remembered delivering messages there, seeing the worn leather chair, the maps pinned to the walls, the simple silver pocket watch the general always kept on his desk, its steady tick-tick a constant heartbeat. In the room on the 10th evening, Colonel Hayes, the general's second-in-command, his own face etched with grief and exhaustion, summoned Miller. The colonel's office felt cavernous and cold. "Private Miller," Hayes began, his voice rough. "General Thorne spoke highly of your quiet dedication. He left instructions should anything unforeseen happen. This was to be given to you." Hayes slid a small, familiar object across the polished desk, the general's silver pocket watch. Miller's hands trembled as he picked it up. It felt warm, alive. He pressed the catch. The lid sprang open. Inside, beneath the simple white face, was a folded slip of paper. Not military stationery, but thin, almost delicate paper. With shaking fingers, Miller unfolded it in the general's precise, familiar script. It read simply, "James, carry the time wisely, remember kindness." Thorne. The watch settled heavily in Miller's palm, its rhythmic tick-tick suddenly the loudest sound in the world. It wasn't just a timepiece. It was a final gesture, a passing of trust, a quiet plea to uphold the values the general embodied. Tears Miller had fought since the disappearance finally welled up, blurring the inscription. He hadn't found the general, but the general had found him, one last time. The overwhelming mystery of the disappearance remained, a profound ache. Yet holding the watch felt like holding a fragment of the man's immense, quiet spirit, the weight wasn't burdensome. It was anchoring. He carefully closed the lid, the soft click echoing the colonel's quiet sigh years later. Captain James Miller, the silver watch a constant presence in his breast pocket, stood overlooking a new generation of recruits at a different base. He spoke to them not just of discipline and strategy, but of the unseen weight of command, the importance of knowing the names of those you lead, and the quiet strength found in compassion. He never spoke publicly of General Thorne's vanishing, the details forever shrouded in respectful silence, but the watch's steady tick-tick against his heart was a constant, gentle reminder the general was gone. Yes, missing without a trace that anyone could find yet. In the way Miller led, in the quiet kindness he showed the newest private, in the unwavering dedication to the spirit of service over blind authority, General Elias Thorne was profoundly, enduringly present. His final lesson, delivered not in a grand speech but through a simple timepiece and a few heartfelt words, resonated through the years. That a leader's true legacy isn't written in reports or victories alone, but etched silently into the hearts of those they inspired. To carry the time wisely, the mystery remained, but the love endured.